sweet? All souls matter. Rodney matters. And when you listen, you know. You like the book Wisdom of the Trees?
Yes.
Can you feel the energy of it?
Yes. It's great.
It teaches people to tune into the trees and listen to the wise counsel that they give. I was looking at that, a city that was destroyed by the fighting in the war. There were no spaces for trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like the trees make them, the trees take away the sanity. That's their purpose. Right, Seema? Seema loves trees.
Yeah, I love that revelation in the book, Wisdom of the Trees.
Which revelation?
That you write about, that the trees, it's not just about oxygen, it's about converting negative energy into positive.
They exchange it, and it's like fertilizer for them. So it's not like, well, you don't want to dump on, people are so willing to dump on other people. But our nervous systems can't handle the negativity. We process it as negative energy. But trees process it as fertilizer. They're capable of converting it. One night I was out with the trees and they were like kind of like teasing me because I'm warm-blooded. And they're saying, too bad that the cold bothers you because it's so nice out here if you can stand the cold and stuff. And they don't feel cold, so it was like trees can engage you and they have personalities as well. Doesn't that make sense? You feel the energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you felt the energy lately as we've been doing more work?
Yes.
What's the biggest shift you felt?
It's really tough because I've felt so many different things happening.
What was the first big shift in doing energy work that we do in the group sessions?
From hate to love, in a sense.
In yourself or in the world?
Myself, around me, the world.
Yeah. So what people don't realize is that they keep looking at the world to reflect peace back to them. They're doing it backwards. That's not how it's done. What they do is they hold space for a peaceful, loving world. Like I've done here with the pets and the trees and the animals. You hold a little circle of peace. That's what you do. You're a portal for whatever you hold space for. And that will reflect into the collective. So the more people who do that, the more people who hold space for joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success, kindness, purity, beauty, enthusiasm, the more those things will empower the macrocosm instead of waiting for the macrocosm to dictate their world. That's the difference. They have to shift from that. The same thing with manifesting abundance. People say, well, I'll wait for the money to come and then I'll do what I want. That's not how it works as a spiritual being. The spiritual principle is you set the intention. Your mind is the 3D printer. Your mind puts out the intention for what it wants to manifest. Once you set the intention, the universe must fill it. It's spiritual law. But what's happening now is everybody by default is setting their printers for negative things because they're doing it backwards. They're manifesting what they see reflected in the negativity of the world. So once they realize not to do that and set their 3D computer on peace, joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success, beauty, kindness, peace, the more it will reflect in the macrocosm. Does that make sense? Yeah. You do this, Mike, right?
Yeah, yes I do.
Yeah, and it's profound because you get it inwardly, like we talk in energy. Because, little Buster, we talk in energy because you can almost see him in his dragon body. Like he's sitting there against a white wall, and on the wall you can almost see a big dragon body right on the wall. Sometimes I look into his little beady eyes, and I'll see like this reptilian smile at me. Yeah, he's a good boy. Well, that's good. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
What changed that expanded the schoolroom? What changed now?
I work because I've watched it. I've watched it go from a football stadium. First it was classrooms, and then it was a football stadium, and then it's expanded into the whole world. And unless you've experienced my work, you can think it's an ego thing. But the few of you here realize that I'm not here on the planet to be a grand poopah or to do a group, whatever, or to say how awesome I am. What I'm here is for every single individual to see how awesome they are, so they don't need to turn to anyone else for their own empowerment. So more and more people are catching on to that, and it's slowly reflected. You can tell when someone's in grand poopah mode because they sound a little bit arrogant still, like they use pet names like, oh, my dear ones, or my precious ones. It's like, screw that. Screw that. Don't patronize me in energy. You're not better than me, and don't preach from me from a loft, because we're all spiritual beings, and the only thing separating us from knowing that is the amount of engrams and stuff we brought with us to protect ourselves. But that's all being dissipated. It's all being dissipated. That's what we're doing here. And so the healing is already done. We're already whole and realized in the fifth dimension that we're in. It's just that more people have brought their engrams as comforts, their pains, their complaints, their old state of consciousness. These are their comfortable bathrobe and slippers that they've brought with them in the higher consciousness. And the reason why the energy work we do is so profound. Are you bored, honey?
Out better.
The reason that the energy work we do is so profound is we recognize that we're not doing anything for anyone except stripping off the layers of illusion, and so they can recognize who they really are, instead of saying someone who pretends to be more superior is actually still in the throngs of illusion, because that happens at the mental realm, which isn't the highest level of consciousness. The mental realm is the same realm as the ego. So if someone is portraying ego in any form, it's still in the mental realms and is not transcended, and they're not enlightened, at least not in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, thanks everybody.